never been anybody to beat me. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw, there's no one that can match me.
My name is Naseem the Dream. I'm a 15-year amateur boxer, giving my views and opinions on everything boxing related. I'm here to give you guys consistent, reliable, unbiased commentary. Boxing is my passion, staying focused is my hobby. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. Today, I will be giving my official prediction for Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano 2, and it wins this historic matchup. This fight is for undisputed WBO, WBC, WBA, IBF titles. It's all on the line. This is a very, very high risk type of fight. I think that either fighter can win this fight. The first fight was controversial. I had Jermell Charlo losing that fight by 7 rounds to 5 to Castano. I thought that Castano was pushing the pace more and had Charlo on the ropes more, and he hurt Jermell Charlo once in that fight, and he was pushing the pace by going down to the body, catching Jermell Charlo with the overhand right and the left hook, using his jab, slipping the jab of Jermell Charlo, and bullying Jermell Charlo into the ropes. Jermell Charlo is 5'11", and Brian Castano is 5'7". Jermell Charlo, the problem with that fight was that he wasn't using his size enough. He was mainly on the back of the ropes, trying to throw combinations, and that was not a good thing to do against a fighter who is known for coming forward and throwing a lot of punches, and who is very fast and has the power to hurt you. Yes, Charlo, he did hurt Castano a couple of times throughout that fight. When Castano would get too wild, reckless, and leave himself to get hit with the right hand of Jermell Charlo. I think that either fighter can win this fight. Brian Castano is the better fighter on the inside, no doubt about that, but Jermell Charlo is the better fighter on the outside. They both had their weigh-ins. It was, eventful. You seen Jermell Charlo repping for his country, USA, and Brian Castano, he was repping for Argentina, his home country. I definitely can't wait to see this fight, though. Like I said, it's a historic fight to make. We don't see too many undisputed matchups taking in the sport of boxing, and I definitely can't wait to see this fight happen, though. I cannot root for Jermell Charlo, though, for the simple fact is that he's a coon. But I think he's an extremely skilled and talented fighter. I can't forget what he said about Deontay Wilder and calling his fans broke, and just hating on the people who love Jermell Charlo and respect Jermell Charlo. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll be rooting for Brian Castano to win this fight. That being said, though, I think that either fighter can win this fight. I think that Jermell Charlo, he gets more aggressive like he is. I think he's going to. He can win this fight by having the cleaner and effective shots and possibly even dropping Brian Castano. However, I don't see him knocking out Brian Castano, because Brian Castano, unlike Tony Harrison, is not going to sit there and back up to the ropes and let Charlo tee off on him. He's going to move around the ring, use his legs, and try to block some punches. The problem with Tony Harrison was that he was showboating too much, and he was letting Jermell Charlo clip him, and Jermell Charlo eventually got him onto the ropes, started to unload combinations, and he eventually stopped Tony Harrison in that fight. Harrison, I thought that he was doing extremely well, controlling Jermell Charlo with the jab, going down to the body, pushing Jermell Charlo back. But his showboating and the fact that he tends to gas out in the later half of the fight is what cost him that fight. Brian Castano has an insane tank. This man be throwing 11 punch combinations, 7 punch combinations. So does Jermell Charlo, but he throws more 4 or 5 punch combinations. I see this fight going toe-to-toe, back and forth. I think this might be a fight of the year. I think that Jermell Charlo is going to be fighting in the center of the ring. He's going to be going down to the body, landing the 1, 2, 3. But I think that Brian Castano is going to be coming over with the overhand right, catching Jermell Charlo with the left hook, going down to the body, the straight right hand, left hook, and the right hook, and uppercuts. And I think that he's going to have his best moments when he pushes Charlo against the ropes. But I also think that Charlo's going to be able to counter him on the ropes with the right hand. Brian Castano has to be careful of not letting himself get too reckless and too wild, because easily Jermell Charlo could possibly drop him in that fight. Okay, he did manage to hurt him 3 times in that fight and buckle his knees. Also with Charlo, he has to not headhunt so much. I think that he would benefit if you go down to the body more and slow down the take of Castano. Another thing about Charlo is that he tends to leave himself extremely open with throwing combinations, because he's very explosive, and that's why Charlo was getting hurt in that fight, and he got clipped with so many counter shots. If he can, keep his defense more tight, he can have a better chance of controlling this fight more cleanly. That being said, though, I can't really pick a winner for this fight because it's that competitive a matchup. Like I said, both fighters have weaknesses. Both of them can tend to get reckless at certain points throughout the fight. But Jermell Charlo is the slightly better boxer, so I can see him winning this fight, landing more cleaner shots, backing up Brian Castano into the ropes. But I also can see Brian Castano pushing the pace more, countering Jermell Charlo, and landing more combinations to the body and to the head. I think that Jermell Charlo, like I said, is going to have success with the 1, 2, 3.
the 4-5. Pushing Brian Castano back. But I think that Brian Castano is going to be able to counter him with the overhand right, the left hook, and going down to the body, pushing Jermell Charlo back into the ropes. So if Jermell Charlo wins, I think it's going to be by a split decision because I think that Brian Castano knows how to get out of being hurt. I think that Brian Castano can win this fight by a split decision due to his work rate and the fact that he can hurt Charlo if Charlo is being reckless and trying to come forward so aggressively. So that being said, though, I can't really pick a winner for this fight because it's that competitive of a matchup. Both these fighters are extremely skilled and talented. Brian Castano is one of the men to beat Errol Spence in amateurs. He has an extensive amateur background, so he has a lot of experience in the ring, even though he only has 14 fights. Jermell Charlo only has one loss against Tony Harrison. He avenged that loss. So both of these fighters have a realistic chance of winning this fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I definitely can't wait to see it happen, though. Whoever wins this fight, I will still give them their just due and their credit, even if it's Charlo. But to wrap this up, this is Nassim the Dream, rocking these hairs and this is sleep. I'll holler out another one. Peace.